Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to use Tasker to make a talking clock for your phone. We start by tapping on the home button in Tasker, click on add to add a new project. Let's give it a name, talking clock. Okay, now we need a new profile. Click on the plus and call it clock to make it simple. And we need time for this project. Let's go start with, let's say, 8 o'clock in the morning. Oops. And ends maybe at 3. You can set it up any way you want, of course. And we're going to repeat every minutes. Let's say 15 minutes. Okay, go back to make new tasks. We're going to start a new task. Call it clock again. We're going to start by creating a new variable set. Give it a name. I want to use capital letters. T clock. And then I'm going to set this variable to Tasker variable called time. A preset Tasker variable. Okay, that's done. Now this new variable I made, I need to split it up. So I'm going to go to variable split. I'm going to use the same name, T clock. And the splitter is going to be a dot. And I don't know if you know how to figure out what the splitter is when you try to split variables, but it's really simple to find out. For text, there is no splitters. I mean, it's going to be a blank space if you split in text. Notification, if you split in a notification, you have to find out what the notification is from your notification bar and use the same symbol that that app uses. And to find out, all you have to do is flash it. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do that. Alert, flash, and you enter whatever you need to see. I'm gonna go ahead and use the time since we're working with time. So I'm gonna go ahead and find time. Okay. And we'll just go ahead and play it. And right down here, it'll show you what the splitter is in the flash, and it's a dot. Flash is a good way to see what you're doing. Let's say you're doing a project with a bunch of variables, arrays, and splits and stuff. Flash is a good way to test what you're doing. So for now, I'm gonna just go ahead and just disable it. I might need it later on. But for now, we need to do a couple of things. We need to subtract 12 from the hours. What we did so far is set up a new variable, T clock, to the time. But Tasker is using a 24-hour clock, and I need to use a 12-hour clock. So I'm going to subtract 12 from the T clock. T clock now is set up as two parts. T clock 1 and T clock 2. T clock 1 is for the hours and T clock 2 is for the minutes. So I'm going to subtract 12 from T clock 1. What I do is plus variable subtract. So I'm going to use T clock 1. Find T clock 1. which is not in the list yet, because it's not, we have not ran the profile or the task yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do it by hand. So T clock 1, I'm going to subtract 12 from it. If T clock 1 is greater than 12. Again, I'm going to use the 1 by hand. If T clock 1 is greater than 12. Wrap around, I'm going to leave it blank. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that.
Hey, it's 11 o'clock and 14 minutes.
Or actually, wrap around, you can just put 0 in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put 0. Now, for the minutes and the hours, I do not want the clock to say 0, 1 or 0, 2 minutes or 0, 1 o'clock. I want it to just say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 9 minutes, 8 minutes. I do not want it to say 0. What I'm going to do is multiply the minutes by 1 and the hours by 1. So if it has a 0, it will disappear, like 0, 0, 8 times 1 is 8. So I'm going to go do both of them for that. So I'm going to go ahead and variable set T clock 1 times 1. T clock 1 is already in the list. I'm going to set it up to T clock 1 again times 1. And you need to leave a space between the variable and whatever you're doing. So T clock 1 space times 1. And you have to take the do math, otherwise it will not work. Okay, we did that for the hours. Now we're going to do that for the minutes. Variable set. And now T clock 2. Go find T clock 2, which is not in the system yet. So I'm going to add the 2 by hand. And I'm going to set it up to T clock 2 times 1, just like we did with the hours. Space, make sure you have a space, times 1, and do not forget to take the do math underneath it. Okay, that one's done. Now all we have to do is find a way to say what the time is.
It's 11 o'clock and 45 minutes.
And you can hear my clock already talking from the other side. But it's really simple.
11 o'clock and 45 asterisk 1 minutes.
All we have to do is an if statement. So we're going to say if T clock 2, I'm going to explain that in a second too. If T clock 2 equals 0, which is already unequal, equals 0, because I do not want it to say it's 9 o'clock and 0 minutes. I want it to say it's 9 o'clock. So if the minutes are 0, so if T clock 2, which is the minutes, equals 0, I want it to say, so hit the plus, alert, say, and you write down in here. You can write whatever you like to write. It is, and don't forget to leave space between the variables and the text. And T clock 1, and space again, o'clock. So now when it's even hour, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it will say it is 5 o'clock, no minutes. We have an if statement. Now we need to add an end of or else. So I'm going to go ahead and use else because I have one more thing to write. So if the minutes are not 0, I want it to say the hour and the minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and alert say. Again, it's going to say it is my clock 1. I mean T clock 1. Space. O'clock. And space T clock 2. Again space minutes. Okay, the stream is media, or you can change that if you like. You can change the engine voice default if you like. You can play with whatever you want with these, but I will just leave them alone. They're fine the way they are. Okay, let's go back and test what we did. There you see the red here and the green. Red because the minutes are not 0. If the minute is 0, this will be active and this will be unactive. Okay, if it's 0, like I said, this will be green and this will be red. So everything seems to be working. Let's go ahead and test it. You see those green dots going through?
It is 11 o'clock and 48 minutes.
So the clock is working fine. So every 15 minutes, between the time you set it up to start and the time you set it up to end, it will tell you what the time is. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.